expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. Wearing flip-flops is fine, but what the hell is that between your toes?
Ew. Oh. Hi, Deacon. How are you? Are you
I'm not
enjoying
smoking.
your day?
No smoking here. No smoking here, Mom. Nope. I'm not smoking. No smoking here.
Oh my God.
What's up, dude?
Could you be like more stereotypical? Could you rank it? I mean, just like ratchet it up a little bit.
I was the stereotypical pothead. Okay.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I've smoked more weed than most of you know exists in my lifetime. So, yes, I was the stereotypical pothead. But I wasn't the stereotypical pothead in the sense that I always said you would never know that I was high. Yeah, and my friends were able to figure out that I was high because I would nonstop talk. I would start talking and nonstop talking. I would just talk all the time, and I would just
Go.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just nonstop. But if I'm not, or if I'm not talking, you would never know. I'm not one of those. My brother's completely different. My brother could smoke a joint and sit there on the couch and be like, and not say a word. And like if he did say anything in like 3 hours, he'd lean up and go, "The purple sheep flies at midnight." And me, I'm like, I would smoke and want to like clean the house and go do laundry and go mow the yard and go do tasks. It was weird. I think
that is a little strange.
I think I've studied it over the years with different stuff, and I think it's because of the chemical reactions in my brain. My brain is different, has different. It doesn't produce enough positive chemicals that you produce. You know, when you wake up and you're like, I'm so happy to be here today. I feel great. That. I don't have enough of that feel-good chemical. So I substituted it for years with marijuana. I do now with CBD, just because marijuana is illegal in Kentucky.
I gotta say, because some people have been watching this for a little bit. Some people have been watching this a long time, but there was a time there, especially like October, maybe November, like every single day, I was just feeling so bad for you because you were clearly not feeling good in the morning, And but I have to say, for the last month or two, it seems like you've been like chipper. It's been great.
I'll go through I went through my medical cycle when I was trying to get used to different medicine. They were changing my medicines and it was screwing up my body. My doctor, who is also my ex-wife, who we get along perfectly. She was like, she told me, she said, "This is going to screw you up." And it did.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I mean, maybe people don't, I think maybe people underestimate just how much chemicals can like interact with like your person,
everything,
not just make you sick, make you not sick, but like it can change your demeanor, it can change your outlook on the world, all of it.
I used to explain this to people. This is when I would explain smoking pot to people. Okay. And this is what we're talking about. If you're just joining us, today is 420. It's marijuana holiday or whatever they call it. And so we're talking about marijuana. When you wake up in the morning, let's imagine your brain chemicals are like this. Here's your brain chemicals when you wake up in the morning. Mine is here, JJ.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take this. We both wake up in the morning and we're right here. I'm here. You're here. And we both smoke a joint. We smoke the exact same joint. You go up to here. Where do I go? I go to where you were.
Right.
You're now high. I'm now normal where you were. I won't be, that's kind of, I'm feeling a little bit better. But that's what I always said when I smoked a joint. I wouldn't like sit on the couch and be like, "Peace out, brother." That wasn't me. I was like, oh, I feel like a human. I want to go and shopping and let's go complete
Yeah, I want to be alive
now,
right now.
instead of just being like, I fucking hate my life. You know?
It seems like maybe every human is different, and and perhaps no blanket set of rules just covers all of us, and it's up to every individual person to be responsible for their own self,
right,
and interaction with the world, and you can't put it off to be anybody else's fault.
Right.
When you
Another
make
reason,
bad choices.
one of the main reasons I started smoking when I was 18 years old was pills don't work on me. Normal pills usually don't work on me. Pain pills, especially Valiums and lower tabs and all that crap, they just don't work on me like they work on other people. And marijuana always killed the pain in my lower back. So
that was always the biggest deal, right?
That was always the biggest deal for me, was it did kill the pain in my lower back. So today, if I were going to go to a pharmacy and get a weed, I would not get a sativa weed. I would look for an indica, because in the types of weed, the indica is more for a body and the sativa is more for your head. So if you want to get pieced out and listen to some fucking Pink Floyd, man, you get that. But if you're wanting a body, you want it to kill the pain in your body and actually be a medicine, you get the different type of plant. And that's what I want. I don't want the head buzz anymore. I've had the head buzz. Peace out. It was cool. I don't get the same thing anymore as I did 20 years ago. So I don't care about it.
That altogether, it has pretty low appeal to me. So
and that's cool. To each his own.
I'm not at the point in life
about that stuff.
Such pain that I'm willing to look at that as an alternative.
No, at some points I would do anything to stop the pain in my back.
Yeah, I know pain's coming eventually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'm fairly libertarian on this issue in terms of I
want to be able to grow. I want to have the right to grow this at my house. I don't want to grow 50 million plants. I want to grow enough to suffice me so that I don't have to go and pay for it. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, same thing for you should be able to. Ideally, you should be able to grow your own food and have room for that. And I mean, if this is the world that was the way it's supposed to be, but we also have people that want to be in charge and think they can make things safe and make rules for everybody. Doesn't work. Okay, good morning, everybody. Deacon, you need to do song of the day, and I need to get a cup of coffee.
All right, go get your coffee. I'm going to do song of the day real quick, and then we'll talk about this freaking title. It's you missed 2 letters. You've got 24 of the letters of the alphabet in the title. You don't have.
Oh no, we need to find a way to jam some more in there.
All right. So our song of the day today, we're doing drummers this week. If you don't know, we do a song of the day. I add a song to Deke's playlist. You can go to our Discord server, scroll down there, and you'll see it says Deke's playlist for the supporters. And you can go. I'm putting links to YouTube, but I think Mr. E has got. I think he's updating this on a Spotify playlist as well. So thanks to Mr. E for doing that. I've been adding the YouTube links. This week we're doing drummers. Not necessarily my favorite drummers. I do love these drummers, but I'm not ranking them on a list of my top 5 or anything. I'm just picking drummers because JJ is not a music person at all. At all. So I'm trying to pick songs that he would know or bands that he would at least know and to kind of ease him into it, because he's not a music person. So today he's listening, I think. Today we're doing a band that he knows. Dave Matthews Band is the band. The drummer is Carter Beauford. Carter Beauford is one of the cleanest, I've written down there. He's one of the cleanest, most technical, and downright baddest ass drummers on the planet to ever pick up sticks. He's got this. Carter doesn't play in a normal drummer fashion where the drummers will put the fills and stuff at the end, fills and accents and stuff at the end of your phrases and stuff like that, and the end of your measures. Carter plays like I call it a broken foundation pattern. That's what I've heard it called before, broken foundation, because a drummer lays the foundation and he plays a broken foundation pattern, and it works mind-blowingly well. All right, you can listen to any any Dave Matthews Band song and listen to Carter Beauford play. But I recommended one here for you that you've heard a million times, I think, Ants Marching. So listen to that and just don't sing along with the, oh, that little, don't sing that. Listen to Carter in the background going the, he's all over the freaking place. And then I want you to type in the number sign 41. Number 41 is the name of the Dave Matthews Band song. It was.
I actually have a Dave Matthews Band, and it has track 41. You can't see it because my camera sucks.
Yeah,
but
it's on that album. Listen to number 41 and listen, because it goes through a normal, but he gets some of the funkiest crap Carter Beauford does in there. Carter Beauford has always been one of my favorite. If I had to list 5 favorite drummers, he would probably be in the top 5. I know he would be in the top 5. I love listening to anything that man does. He is one of the best drummers I've ever heard in my life.
I need to put a splash thing up here for like Deacon's.
We're gonna do guitarists next week. We might do bassists next week. Bassists. We'll just keep along with the rhythm section. So Carter Beauford tomorrow is one of my favorite drummers that I just got a news story today. I'll just tell you, Taylor Hawkins is going to be tomorrow. And I just got a news story today where the Foo Fighters have just announced their first new album since the death of Taylor Hawkins, and they're going to go on tour. And that's one band that I have never seen. That's my all-time top bucket list band. Is the Foo Fighters. And now I'm kind of pissed off because I'll never get to see Taylor Hawkins. I'm a drummer and I'll never get to see him, but the Foo Fighters are the number 1 bucket list band that I have not seen. I got to see the Foo Fighters before I die.
You know, most bands, I would be like, including Dave Matthews Band, I would probably be like, yeah, and if they're like playing down the street at Cynthia Williams.
Oh, no.
Mitchell,
Dave,
I would probably. I'm sure
great
they are,
show.
but I would be like, I would weigh like dealing with traffic against going to a show, and I'd probably be like, I don't really want to do that. Foo Fighters, I might actually, because I think Dave Grohl is cool.
As I've gotten older, I bitch about traffic. I've noticed I bitch about traffic more than I'm older, but no, that didn't bother me. Dave Matthews puts on a good show. All right. Let's see this big freaking alphabet title, JJ. What? Please explain it to me because I couldn't read.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. First, we see you over on Rumble. Good morning, Richter and Brian, whoever's there. And by the way, if you're new, if the first time you've been watching our show, hey, thanks for giving us a shot. We know that we're the pre-show for Louder with Crowder or Russell Brand. So if you're over on Rumble hanging out, waiting for them, thanks for checking us out. And if you like any part of this show, if you chuckle, if you snort, if you accidentally fart your pants while listening to us, please give us a thumbs up. That'd be great. Follow the channel. All right. Today's title. Today is April 20th, 4/20/2023. Today's title, Arousing Evil. And the 2ALGBTTQIAGENDA. I thought, and you know what? I try to make these titles like, you know, at least interesting to look at and compelling or whatever. And then right after I spent like 20 minutes like assembling all the stuff and making the men and the other men bathroom signs, like there was some other stories that broke, and I was like, I could have changed the title. And then I was like, no, I spent too much time on this. I'm moving on. Didn't the Foo Fighters refuse to allow unvaccinated people in their shows? I don't know. Like a lot of bands had to deal with venue restrictions. I don't know. The only band that I'm holding vaccine stuff against is Offspring, because they actually just fired one of their guys for being unable to get vaccinated. All right. So let's start with Arousing Evil. Arousing Evil. This is an exclusive over on Breitbart.com. Where's my go button? According to Mike Pence, weakness arouses evil, and Biden is sending a message of weakness around the world.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Here's my initial thoughts on that headline.
Yeah.
That is the wrong word to use, Mike. If I'm a script writer and I write scripts for businesses, All right. To promote your business, I come up with the perfect word to describe your business.
Good point.
And weakness arouses evil. There is a multitude of fucking verbs that you can use besides.
So your problem with it is the arouses? Because I think the arouses word is scintillating and gets the attention.
You like it? Is that why? Does it get attention to you? What kind of attention does it bring, though? Is it the right attention or the wrong attention? Because you're right. That word brings attention to me, but I completely shut out every fucking thing else the idiot is saying, because in my mind, he has used the wrong word and he sounds like a fucking idiot.
Does that word immediately like conjure some other idea in your mind that has nothing to do with strength or vitality?
No, that word to me, I can see where you're going with that. And once you have to explain it, then yes, you're exactly right. That word does mean that. But do we want to sit there and fucking explain every goddamn word? I meant it in this way. Well, use another fucking word that means that.
I gotta say,
there is more powerful word. If he's wanting to try to display that we're powerful and we want to be powerful, don't use a fucking dick getting hard reference. All right, that does not display power to me.
Let's see exactly what he said here. Former vice president told Breitbart News exclusively that the Democratic president Joe Biden and his policies send a message of weakness around the world, something that arouses evil. Where did he use this word arouses specifically?
Like, why couldn't he have said?
No, he literally said weakness arouses evil, and in the wake, he literally said that.
Why couldn't he have used the word instigates or? Weakness instigates evil. Weakness awakens evil.
So, I mean, there's like multiple dimensions of this kind of to think about, right?
Absolutely. That's my job, is to come up with the other words that mean better. And that's a terrible word.
One dimension is the substance of the message itself, which is like when you act weak, you encourage, you embolden your competition, you embolden your enemies, your opponents to be stronger, to act stronger. So when you are acting weak, you are causing others to act strong because they think that there's an opportunity. So there's the message, and then there's the persuasive quality of the message, the ability for the message to hook into the listener and like sink in and resonate as something that's true, or resonate as a powerful message. So while the message is true, the delivery of the message seems to be kind of off note.
You've hit the nail on the head. That is exactly right. The message is true, even though the messenger is a fucking twat and needs to shut his fucking white head because nobody likes his fucking mouth anyway. Take off that fucking tie, you asshole. You know, we don't like him anymore.
I mean, he's the most. I don't really have anything.
Backstabbing asshole. I don't want to hear another fucking word that comes out of this guy's mouth. I don't like him.
He just seems kind of like a cardboard politician to me.
No, he seems like a fucking guy. You're right. You're exactly right. He seems like the guy that would come up to you and be like, and you're preaching to him, Mike, we really need this road coming out here and we need a new pay. And he would say, you're absolutely right, JJ. And then he would come up to me and I would say, we don't need that fucking road there. And he'd go, you're absolutely right, Drew.
Yeah.
Deacon.
Yeah. Yeah. You would just agree with you. Kind of like, well, I don't want to.
And that's, and you're right. That's a cardboard politician. That is a politician. But Mike Pence is just I never liked his face to begin with. It looks like his face has been shrunk down by about 20% on his fucking head. So I just don't like to look at him anyway. And he's picking the wrong fucking words. He's useless to me.
Deke, that man was the vice president of the United States. And you obviously don't like the way that he handles some situations, or at least how you feel about it. If you were president of the United States, have you ever wondered, if you were president of the United States, how would you?
First of all, no. Let me think about it. No. Okay, I'm going to stop him. I'm going to stop now.
If you were president of the United States, How would you just approach the job overall? Because I feel like I would at first be like, oh, we have all these problems we have to deal with. We have this. Oh my God, we have this. We have to deal with it. It can be probably difficult to like step back and be like, actually, maybe we don't need to deal with any of that. Maybe we don't need to go into anybody else's country. Maybe we don't need to spend any extra money. Like I think these guys that get into the job and then they get sucked into the details, and then all the bureaucrats around them are like, "Oh, we got to do this, we got to do this," and they're like overwhelmed. They just kind of go with it.
I think you're making it sound a lot simpler than it really is. You know, I mean, it's not like just going into countries and being like, "We're going to take over your land." It's specific reasons, and
we're Okay, all right. So we have a lot of stories on the docket about LGBTQ, trans, all of this stuff. I know that our audience.
I know there's like 50 freaking stories.
And there was this. I was like, well, this has to be just a copy of it. Nope, different story. Oh, well, this one here has to be. Nope, this is a different story too. We have a bunch of those to get to.
Can we go through them real quick? Can we not linger on every one of them because we don't have time to?
We can't linger on them. But before we even get to them, I need to acknowledge this IRS whistleblower story.
Oh,
we're kind of still in that, right? Okay, we're still in the,
I heard that this morning coming in, and I wanted to find this article because I thought, oh my God, we got to talk about this. And then you already had it up. So I was like,
yes. So there has been, it was yesterday, I think, a whistleblower within the IRS. An IRS agent is alleging that the Department of Justice is thwarting the criminal prosecution of Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
So basically what that means is that they know that Hunter Biden has done some illegal shit and they're not doing shit about it. And we've all been saying that for a long ass time.
I mean, it's fucking obvious. We have video of the dude banging hookers and
snorting coke and whatever,
and hanging out with a pistol that he lied about on the application, and he threw it in a dumpster. This guy is a fucking menace. He's the president. It's president's son. President takes him to all around the world, takes him to Ireland and shit.
What was that Tommy Boy movie? It wasn't Tommy Boy. It was Chris Farley and David Spade. It was Black Sheep. Did you ever see Black Sheep? That was the same thing. His brother was running for something, and Chris Farley was the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Rest in peace, Chris Farley.
Oh God, he was the one. That's what I was thinking. I was like, was that his last one? Was that one of his last ones before he died?
Probably should have done like a lot less coke, Chris Farley.
Maybe less coke and less heroin. Yeah, it was It was a mixture of heroin and coke.
Maybe a lot less of both.
Maybe a lot less of both of those. We'll
just
keep your heart.
Could have walked around the park a little bit.
Something.
I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like Chris Farley, if he was here, he would be like, he wouldn't be like, that's not fair. He'd be like, I mean, that's not that funny a joke, but you're right. All right. So according to a letter from a whistleblower attorney, Mark Lytle, so that's the attorney, a letter to Congress obtained by Just the News, the IRS agent revealed he is seeking to provide detailed disclosures about a high-profile, sensitive case to the tax writing committees of Congress, which have special authority under the federal tax privacy laws to receive such information that could pave the way to share the details with other committees in coming weeks. So we have the potential that a committee could get information regarding Hunter Biden that could maybe lead us to other hearings. This is, in one sense, like, okay, we've got a guy that's finally willing to turn some information over, and it's going to lead to hearings and hearings and hearings, and ain't shit going to get done.
Yep.
I mean, what do you exactly think you're going to be able to do? The criminal's dad is the president. Nobody is going to run this dude down. All right. Also on Daily Wire, whistleblower alleges Hunter Biden probe misconduct. This one was kind of interesting because I believe it said the letter adds some of the protected disclosures contain information that's restricted by statute from unauthorized disclosure to protect taxpayer and return information. The criminal investigation is being led by, get this, Delaware's U.S. Attorney David Weiss. FBI and IRS investigators have been looking into his foreign business dealings and whatnot. And apparently, up to this point, the federal government has left it up to the Delaware U.S. Attorney as to whether or not charges are filed. So, like, I'm sure it's not fair, but my immediate thought is like, the president's from Delaware. The U.S. the U.S. District Attorney of Delaware is not going to rattle the bushes against the president who's in his state. There's no way that's going to happen. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe some of these guys got more of a spine than I expect. But so we'll have to see if the Hunter Biden stuff pans out. Okay, Deke. We got more political stuff. The House Republicans, including Kevin McCarthy, have released the text for the bill to raise the debt ceiling once again. We're going to raise the debt ceiling. Aren't you excited? Okay, so so now this is a compromise bill, compromise type thing. Apparently, the president of the United States has been totally unwilling to even negotiate with the GOP in terms of the spending bill. Here are some of the things that are included in the spending, in the debt ceiling plan. They would rescind unobligated COVID aid money. So if money was flushed out there to help people with coronavirus, help government agencies, whatever, and that wasn't used, they're going to take it back. Okay, that's fair because COVID's over. It's been over in a long time. You know, it's not over. This is not medical information, but the emergency authorization is over. They would block unfair student loan giveaways. Deacon, you remember whenever I was telling you about the federal government trying to give me back my money and then make other people pay my loans. So that, which by the way, here's the skinny on that. My wife did that, got money back from a refund from the government, and then got a bill for the student loan. And I was like, why did you do this? Why did you put us in debt again to get us out of debt? And so I was like, right, to pay it off. Just pay that thing off. So anyway, they're going to, it was ridiculous. They're going to repeal market distorting green tax credits. So there's a lot of people out there that are buying electric vehicles. And one of the reasons they're doing that is because there's like, I don't know, a discount on your taxes when you buy a green car. Doesn't really necessarily offset stuff. And it makes people behave a certain way to buy a certain kind of car based on tax policy. They're going to repeal. I got three more. Repeal the 80. This is the important one. Speaker McCarthy, who is otherwise a swamp creature, who's proposing to repeal $80 billion in funding to hire 87,000 IRS agents made during the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, I don't know if anything else is good, but that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. They're going to implement some regulations for the Executive in Need of Security Act, which would curb regulations.
That to me was never going to come to fruition anyway. I never thought that 87,000. That to me was posturing. Mm-hmm. That was a posturing move. That was a posturing statement to beat your chest is what they were doing. But I can't figure out what they were beating their chest for, but that's all that was just a,
I think you could go back a few weeks on one of our shows, and one of the things I mentioned was like, oh yeah, there were like during the last budget kind of series things, they hired like 300 Border Patrol agents. It was a ridiculously low number. It was in a couple hundreds agents to secure our border, which is being flooded by cartels, drugs, human trafficking, all of this. A couple hundred, and then on the other hand, 87,000 IRS agents. 87,000. So if they do anything, if they can just pull this out, I might be like, okay, pass this thing, raise the ceiling, just stop hiring more feds. And by the way, Deacon, Do you remember I told you I had filed my taxes early and they sent me a letter? You're about to have to go on the air.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
They sent me a letter and they said, hey, we're going to have to wait 60 days before we can issue your return. I got another letter.
Yeah. What's it say?
They're going to need another 60 days.
Oh, definitely saw the show.
Oh, shit.
They're definitely watching the show. That's what this means.
Yeah, right.
Hang on, I got it.
IRS, we generate no money around here, IRS. Wobbly Bits, good morning. Welcome back. You guys are... Richter says that Chris Farley's last movie was Wagons East, but then he says, no, it was Almost Heroes, not Wagons East. It was John Candy that made Wagons East as his last movie. It would take many years just to train and develop that many IRS agents. Would it? See, you're saying train and develop as though the IRS agents would be like crafted to do a particular job. And I think the only job that they would be crafted to do would be make us pay more taxes. And you could do that by just writing letters. The final thing that is in the proposed spending bill is to enact H.R. 1, the Lower Costs Energy Act, which is a sweeping energy reform bill. So I expect probably a good deal of pushback from the president on this bill, especially if it kind of goes against some of his agenda stuff, which is like getting rid of, he wants to get rid of fossil fuel industry. He wants to push the Green New Deal, green technology stuff, and he wants 87,000 IRS agents. So I expect a good deal of pushback. We do not have a supermajority that can override the president if he vetoes any of this. Although it would be pretty good TV for the president to veto a spending, raising the debt ceiling. I would be happy pretty much either way. All right, moving on. Florida Governor Ron. I didn't even put the picture up for that. It was just text anyway. Florida has expanded the Don't Say Gay bill and okays anti-LGBTQ bills. So this is from Associated Press. Let me put this on screen here. First of all, the Associated Press, obviously biased. It's not a Don't Say Gay bill. It's not anti-LG. Well, I don't know. You could call it anti-LGBTQ or not. But the Florida legislature is enhancing their restrictions that specifically, I think I had a different version of this. I guess not. Specifically, currently in Florida, the public education is not allowed to basically discuss or talk about sex, gender. There's just no point of it through the third grade. And the Florida legislature is now expanding that and be like, there's just no reason for people to be propagandized by the state government. So they're enhancing it up through the 12th grade, I believe. That's different than sexual education, like sex education. It's different than that. And even that, the parents have the right to opt out of certain things.
Hey, you're a parent. I'm a parent.
Yeah.
As much as we don't want it's humans. We can't stop human nature. Okay. And humans evolved to that point about 13 or 14 years old. And that is a generic number. Some are younger,
plus or minus,
a lot older.
Absolutely.
It always happens, but it's about 13 or 14 years old. I'm watching my children go through it. My son sat there the other day and we was talking about, and he had broke up with this girl, and we was sitting there talking about it, and he had dated her for a long time, 2 or 3 months, and long time, 2 or 3 months. Isn't that funny?
Consider percentage of your life. It is significant.
So he was talking about how he really likes this other girl. And he said he was really liking, he was just head over heels talking about her. I could tell that he really liked her. And he said something akin to, I know this is probably sounds stupid, but I think I would, love her for the rest of my life or something like that. He kind of felt that really strongly about her.
A little bit adorable.
I know it is. And that was my immediate thought. I was like, oh, isn't that cute? But then I thought, wait a minute. I mean, we tell all these stories about great love at a young age. I mean, look,
Romeo and Juliet, that story,
I
they were
hate
13.
That. They were,
okay.
but they were stupid. That's I hate when people are like,
oh yeah, no,
the greatest love story is Romeo. That's not the fucking greatest love story. That was two stupid teenagers. That was a stupid story.
That's the moral of the story. You dummies don't know what you're talking about anything.
It wasn't the greatest love story. It was a stupid story.
Right.
So I was trying to make a point that, that's not.
I'm sorry, I derailed you.
No, that's all right. I was trying to make a point to him. I was trying to make a point to him that you don't have to be that young, or you can be that young to find the person that you love, I believe. So that's what I mean. Our kids are going through this, but not in the elementary school. No, kids don't have. We don't need to be talking about sex in elementary school. The sex of boy, girl. Does the little boy look like a little girl with long hair? Okay, he's got long hair.
Do we have an agreement that social media is attempting to reframe biology to children?
Social media is attempting, is all you need to say. Social media is attempting to blank, and that is a correct statement.
So our kids, and I mean this as your kids specifically, because your kids are on like TikTok, social media, and that kind of stuff. They are being inundated with messages, and those messages change how they perceive the world and how they think. And
already have.
And I've said, I've said it before
with them all the time. It already has.
Yeah, I've said this before. Like, people are programmable. You are and I don't mean like, some people, the weak-willed people. No.
Everyone is.
All people are programmable. Mm-hmm. You are a creature created by God, and you are unique and special, and all of that is true. And you have a meat computer in your head that gets information in, stores some of it, forgets stuff, makes weird associations between things, and you can, by putting messages into this thing, you can override common sense in nature, and you can just like, red is blue, green is whatever, boys or girls, they're the same, not the same. So so our kids are being passively programmed all the time. And we've got to be vigilant about it. In fact, you are being passively programmed right now. And if you don't realize it, you should hit the follow button and hit the rumble button on our channel. Anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
I should hit
moving on.
Follow on the channel.
Yeah. Make sure you hit follow.
For some reason, I feel compelled to go and do them.
So like, can we just keep as much as possible? Like, you can't stop it, but as much as possible, we need to try to keep propaganda out of school. Kids in school should learn to read.
It's not going
and
to
they
be.
should learn math.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
I know.
No, school's not the same. School is not the same as when we went to school. You haven't went through this yet, and I can't wait for you to go through this. When you start to go, no, wait a minute. No, this is because I went through this. You're going to go through the stages of, what kind of hippie shit school is this? And then you're going to be like, you don't have homework? I had homework every night. In every subject, I had homework.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, you do what in your classrooms? And you're going to be like, no. Do the division this way. What, they don't tell you to do it that way now? Well, I don't know. Just wait, JJ. It's never fucking ending. But
what do you mean you don't have homework? Guess what? I'm your dad. Sit down and do some math.
When my kids were in middle school, I was like, what kind of hippie fucking middle school shit is this? Y'all got couches in here? What kind of shit is this? Y'all need to be learning. Well, I had an educator explain it to me. We were talking about it one day, and I was kind of doing my old man bitching session, and an educator explained it to me. They held up the phone, and they were like, dude, they've got these. We didn't have these. And I was like, yeah, you got a good point. And I've told my kids, and they laugh at me. They laughed at me the first time I told them this. I was like, I actually had teachers, they wouldn't let you use calculators on tests because what did they say, JJ? You won't carry a calculator in your pocket your entire life, so you can't use it on a test. You got to learn how to do it in your head. And my kids laugh at that. So we have to take that concept and realize that that applies to everything that we learned in school is now right here. So they don't need to
what happens when it's
necessarily,
not?
wait a minute. You're right. They don't necessarily need to remember everything, but they need to know how to utilize technology to their benefit and whatnot.
I mean,
But
that
that
is
proposes
going to
that
get
question
you.
you said, what happens when it's not here?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
So
But
yeah, you're going to go through
so
this with your girls.
part of that AP story was like, the AP news is supposed to be. Didn't you say like AP and is supposed to be like the default news, right? And like it's where all the news stations get their news from, and
It's the default
yeah,
generic. Yeah.
yeah. But the default generic thing is putting right in the headline, "Don't say gay." It's not called the "Don't say gay" bill. That's just what people that are mad at Florida for protecting their kids.
That's how the programming starts, because if you can start at the
Yeah, it's right there
headwater
at the top.
if you can start at the headwater of the river, then you're going to poison the whole river. You don't have to go down the whole river and poison
Right.
every little spot of the river. Just poison the headwater, man.
Oh my God, can we get out of this political stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna have
You
a
had a
ton
story
of
about.
shit to talk
I
about
know,
tomorrow.
I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna bump. I'm gonna bump the
We can bump a
Fauci
lot of stuff.
testimony,
Yeah,
the Feinstein stuff. Let's keep moving on.
yeah,
What is
yeah. Go
this?
ahead, pick whatever
We
you
may have
want.
to do the Marvel thing tomorrow, even. Okay, I want to show this because it's effed up, but I'm gonna wait until. Let's do the trans stuff. Because my browser was like, no, please stop,
Your
please
brother don't
stop.
want to do the trans stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't
All
gonna
right, Deke, we've got like, I don't know, maybe a half dozen different stories here. So I'm gonna try to hit them as fast as we can. From the post millennial, and this is gonna just you may not have even ever considered something like this would happen. A trans identified male has been accused of spying on girls in a changing room at the Nanaimo, British Columbia pool, and it turns out he's also a convicted pedophile. What?
So you're
What?
telling me that this pedophile is now
Right.
saying that he's identifying as a girl so that he can see young girls change in bathrooms? Who would have ever thought that this shit would
I
happen?
can't. This sounds like some far right conspiracy stuff. I
This
can't
is
believe.
exactly why parents and fathers have been going fucking bonkers about this. No, your fucking swinging dick ass ain't walking in this girl's bathroom when my little girl is in there pissing. This is exactly the reason why I personally have a problem with this. Thank God all of my girls are big enough to know what to do now, and I don't have that much of a worry, but I still do.
So in February, Janiyah Wright was threatened with arrest after confronting a male wearing a wig whom she alleges was peeking under her daughter's stall at the aquatic center. The male claims to be entitled to be in the changing room on the grounds of human rights.
Then
The
she is entitled to have some fucking privacy in that room with her daughter, and she is
right.
entitled to be in that room that is listed as a female room. Okay? She is entitled to that privacy as well. And if he's looking under the fucking stall, then she should kick him in the goddamn eyeball.
Wright reported the incident to management, but was told it was needed it needed the trans identified male's right to be in the female changing room.
Nope.
And she, I mean, like,
Nope.
this is
Nope.
wow. All right. Oh, let's see. Here's another one. In Idaho, an Idaho teacher and LGBT activist has been arrested on charges of raping a 16-year-old boy.
Really?
I'm sure this is the odd man out. This is not at all anything that you would generalize, but in this specific case, an Idaho teacher has been arrested on suspicion of raping a boy. Eric McDermott, who's 59, of Boise, was booked in the Ada County Jail on Monday on charges of rape and sexual battery committed by lewd or lascivious acts on a minor child. This guy's got a bad future coming for him. Let's see what else is going on. And again, we're not generalizing. These are just specific incidents, and you can, we'll see if there's we'll just move on.
We're just reading news.
Just report news. I didn't make it up. Also from the Post Millennial, Colorado is now a trans tourism state for parents seeking sex changes or abortions for their children. So if you are anywhere in the United States and you have children, and for whatever insane reason, your state does not want to permit you to have your child mutilated, you can, according to Colorado, take your kids to Colorado and have your children mutilated, sterilized, or castrated there. Doesn't that sound like a good plan? Colorado became the latest trans-safe haven Monday when Democratic Governor, surprise, Jared Polis signed a bill protecting those seeking experimental sex change interventions in that state.
This is what happens when you smoke too much weed and take too much mushrooms and you don't have that much oxygen to breathe to start off. You don't have as much, your air is not saturated with enough oxygen, so your brain is not getting what it needs, first of all. And so the oxygen that you are getting, you're fucking overwhelming it with marijuana smoke, and then you're supplementing that with taking fucking mushrooms all the time. So, I mean, in the state where they've legalized everything first, I mean, besides prostitution, I guess. I don't know if prostitution's legal in Colorado. I was only in Colorado for a day, and that is because we missed our goddamn flight and had to wait on another flight. So,
so it's probably a combination of the things you said. So the mushrooms and then also and then also the altitude. The air's already thin up there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Moving on.
I will recommend though that if you're ever in the Colorado the airport, ooh, that's a freaky conspiracy theory type place, man. Me and Ashley had a good time walking around there looking at all.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Keep going. Oh yeah,
crazy shit.
Well, we should talk about that, and maybe tomorrow we'll do. What is tomorrow? Friday? Maybe we'll do like Freaky Friday, and we'll try to do some like some interesting, whatever. Okay. In addition to Colorado, the Washington State House passes a bill to hide the whereabouts of runaway children seeking sex changes. So, if your child has been programmed by TikTok and propagandist school and has decided that he or she is a were person that can turn into a cat or a wolf or a different gender, and you're saying no, you can't do that, and they say, oh, but we want to, and then takes off to Washington. If you call the police and they know where your kid is, they'll be like, can't help you, buddy. Your kid can be appropriated by Washington State now. So that's crazy. A Washington bill that would give the state government powers to hide the whereabouts of children seeking sex changes from non-affirming parents has passed the House and Senate. Deke, I don't even know if
non-affirming parents.
Non-affirming.
Do you know what that word affirm means? Basically, JJ, do you know? We hear that all the time.
We hear it in the context of gender-affirming healthcare. Yeah, it means to agree, non-agreeing.
To agree with what I say.
Yeah.
So, to affirm, to state as a fact, assert strongly and publicly. But that's not how it's meant in this sentence, and how we mean it today.
Maybe we need to reframe. We need to be natural affirming, like how you were made naturally.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, that's what, if you will, I notice how people speak and whatnot, and people do that. They use words and that we've changed the meaning of words all the time. We do it all the time. We change the meaning of words. We can just decide to change the meaning of words and it happens.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. I know.
Pretty soon we'll be able to
trans shit, please.
Yeah, let me see.
I know you had a bunch of story. You even
we got one. Yeah, we got one more. We got one more.
Right,
we can go.
Yeah.
I know. It's California has a bill that aims to make it illegal to criticize teachers for teaching gender ideology. They are going to criminalize you, parents, if you oppose their propaganda agenda. A California Democrat is seeking to make it a misdemeanor to criticize teachers for teaching gender identity ideology to children. Authored by Senator Anthony Portatino, it seeks to address the issues of teachers facing harassment and aims to provide a safe and inclusive environment for all students and teachers. Any person who subjects a school employee or threatens or harassment while the employee is away from school site or after school hours for reasons related to the employee's course of duties could face a fine of not less than $500 or not more than $1,000 and or imprisonment for not more than 1 year. So if you're at the coffee shop and you run into your teacher and be like, hey, what? My kid's telling me that you're talking about, girls with dicks. And you say that at the coffee shop, boop, you get arrested. Oh, the judge says, hey, you fined $1,000 and you're going to go to jail for a year. This is California. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it. It's messed up. God dang it. There's another one. Police identify a trans-identified male who assaulted a resident in Ontario women's shelter as Cody D'Entremont. If you can believe it, this woman is actually a male. This is a male. Can't believe that.
That's a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy. He assaulted a resident in the women's shelter. So they have located a suspect alleging sexual assault case that took place in the women's shelter in April. And so this woman was in the women's shelter, assaulted another woman with her dick, I guess. All right. I think that's, please, I'm just moving down my tabs here. Please, no more. We're done. That's all the trans stuff. That's the trans stuff today.
Hang on.
Woohoo! We're done.
Okay.
All right. I got a good story. A good story.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the TV show Reacher?
No.
You never watched Reacher? Yes.
I wanted to watch that, and I'd forgotten about it until you brought it up right there. Yeah, I've wanted to watch that. Yeah,
there's also a really fun movie. There's a really fun movie about Jack Reacher that was adapted earlier. It stars Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher, which I don't think you watched that one. The TV show stars Alan Ritchson, which I'm sure you remember from the Mockingbird movies. Mockingbird, what is it called? Mockingbird Song or something like where you don't remember. Okay. Hunger Games.
No, I didn't watch that shit.
You didn't watch Hunger Games?
No,
all right.
I'm not a 17-year-old girl. I will not be watching the Reacher movie either, it seems.
It was pretty good. It was really good.
I don't give a shit if it won every award. I won't be watching it because Tom Cruise is the shittiest actor to ever live, and no one seems to realize that.
Are you saying that because you're religious? You're bigoted against religious cultists of Scientology?
No. Yes.
Maybe.
No. Maybe.
All right. Hey, Scientology researchy people.
No,
while you're here,
off the subject. Quit.
While you're here, please hit the rumble button.
God, keep reading the story.
All right. The Reacher star, Alan Ritchson, talks about the importance of faith-based movies, and he calls theaters the new pulpit. The new pulpit.
Theaters are not only the new pulpit, they're the new teachers. The teacher, who is going to know the history of something?
It might be. Might be the new churches.
How many books on Abraham Lincoln have you read, JJ? A truthful question. How many books on Abraham Lincoln have you read? Truthful. You're not going to embarrass yourself.
I know for sure I've read the one by Goodwin Kearns, which is like this thick. I also have I have one that I haven't finished here from like 1926.
You're a different person. You screw my algorithm up. No, ask the normal person. Okay, ask 100 people and see how many does that. And the majority of them are going to say 0. They've never read a book about Abraham Lincoln. And then ask those same people if they've seen the movie about Abraham Lincoln. And they will say, absolutely. I bet a majority of them probably saw the movie. The point I'm trying to make is that the movies are telling our history, and it's not always correct.
No kidding. And not only the movies telling our history, Wikipedia and the internet is telling our history, and it is malleable. It can be changed. You can change.
It has been changed.
Yeah,
Abraham
literally in
Lincoln is the prime that's why I use him as an example. He is my number one example of how history has been changed in 150 years, because you ask people who the greatest president is, and they're going to say his name. You ask those same people if they've read a book about him, and they will say no.
I mean, I've read a book about him, and I think he's pretty great, but he's not a saint. He's not a saint because of fighting slavery or whatever. No. He was able to navigate the swamp of Washington and make these evil bastards fight each other.
Took advantage of. I mean, was it really him that fought slavery?
Yes.
Because he wanted
no. That's what I'm saying.
For those people, and that's not widely told, because he kind of. Anyway, we're going off on way.
We all agree. We all presently agree slavery is bad, even though
what I'm getting at is history can be changed, and what you're getting at here in this movie with this faith-based films is, yes, that is the pulpit, but it's also our teachers for our children as well. All right, people don't go to church anymore. Young people don't go to church anymore. I've had conversations with many pastors and preachers about this very subject. How do you get young people to believe in Christianity? Because it's been bastardized and mistold so much that people don't want to even touch it with a stick.
Well, I mean, I take my kids to church,
which is what needs to be done. But not everybody does that.
And not only that, we read to them at night, and we talk to them, and we put them in Awanas, and and they enjoy it.
That, and not everybody does that.
So this Reacher star, who I'm going to put his face on here because such a handsome fella, Alan Richardson. He says that if that's where the pulpit is for people who wouldn't normally step foot into a church, then that's still a great way to have the conversation. It matters if these films, specifically these like Christian movies, like I think the one that they're talking about is Jesus Revolution right now. He says that he knows that he admits that executives are only focused on the bottom line of, spend money on movie, make more money with movie. That's what matters, right? But it doesn't make it less important that faith-based movies like Ordinary Angels and Jesus Revolution get into theaters, because if that's where people will receive messages, then that's where you got to put messages. And I think that that's like, yeah, that's right. And they better be good movies too. They can't be like some, boring schlock that people are not going to attend. You got to make it doesn't matter how much truth you say if people won't listen to you. Right?
Huh? I wouldn't listen. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Point.
Dang. I had to make that one.
Maybe I'm not the guy for this job.
I'm sorry. I know so.
Anyway, this guy's a pretty great star. The Reacher series is pretty awesome. And this is actually a really interesting dude. There's some podcasts and stuff you can go listen to him. He told me some stuff that my wife was like, "Why aren't you listening to him about ibuprofen?" And I was like, "Because I don't want my testosterone to drop because I'm taking ibuprofen."
Good.
Anyway, I don't know how to segue that. Wow,
this show was off the walls today. All right, so please go to our Discord server and leave a dad joke so JJ will quit asking the robot for dad jokes that I can predict, because I'm successfully 2 for 3 this week. I'm going for 3 for 4 today.
No, that was not.
And I guess his answer to his rinky-dink dad joke.
I mean, I knew your coleslaw thing, but I didn't steal your thunder.
You should have, and that's your fault that you didn't do that. So, ha ha ha. So go
Fair
to our
point for
Discord
you.
server and join it and say hello. And I would like to apologize I'm talking to our listeners and our viewers right now. I want to apologize for JJ earlier and his hateful comments about trains and about the railway. He's a little transphobic.
Oh, I can't stand those things. They're always jumping off the tracks too.
Yeah.
Deke, what do you call a beehive without a bee?
A hive?
No, an e-hive.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. If this is the first time, hey, if you watched this long, come on, hit the dadgum Rumble button. And if you're not watching on Rumble, YouTube probably is. Yeah, YouTube's probably going to get. I mean, this
else
show
are you
for
gonna
sure.
hear
They're gonna be like, why are you telling people
say
about
words like "dad gum"?
Yeah, dad gum, dag nabbit.
Try to stop cussing and just say "dad gum" all the time.
In the air, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's an outro.